Hello, this is Katie from Crafting Ruby Dreams and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I talk about planners, writing, publishing, and getting right with my finances. If you find any of the information in today's video useful, I hope you will hit that like button to let YouTube know to recommend it to others. I also hope you'll consider hitting the subscribe button, and if you do, hit the bell to be notified when future videos are available. Today's topic is getting to know money in self-publishing. I have been self-publishing for 5 years on and off through various methods, both on my own, publishing backlist, publishing new materials, and publishing as part of anthologies that were group efforts. First, I'm going to talk about some things that I think you should understand about self-publishing in order to manage your expectations as to how much you can make as a self-published indie author. I'll follow that up with a specific case study of a book that I published in 2017. I did a presentation at the Romance Writers of America conference with a co-presenter regarding self-publishing. It was subtitled The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and as I said during the presentation, I was the ugly. The reason why I think it's important to manage your expectations with regards to how much you can make in self-publishing is so that you can make the right decisions in order to maximize the amount of money you can make as a self-published indie author. A lot of people are not going to make money right out of the gate. That is the first thing to know. I consider self-publishing, indie publishing as very much a long tail game. That being said, you can make a lot of money right out of the gate, providing the following conditions are present in some form. And those are, your story is very hooky, very tropey, very trendy. Your packaging is right on trend with the current bestsellers. You're able to produce content very quickly and it is spot on for your market. You know your market inside and out and you can deliver exactly what they are looking for. I am going to be talking about knowing your market in an upcoming video, but it is so important to realize how market-driven the top-selling names are in the indie and self-publishing world. Those names are very often a collective of writers who have been hired to ghostwrite stories, a la Nancy Drew, whoever wrote the Hardy Boys. They are hired writers who are producing stories on a routine basis that are then released under a singular name. Readers of those books, they are getting exactly what they want. They are paying for exactly what they want, and that's fine. That is what those readers want. If you are trying to compete against those collectives as a single person, your expectations may be unrealistic. I do wish you all of the success in the world, but you need to have different marketing strategies, you need to have different production strategies, and if you want to compete against the collective, you may have to create your own collective. So just understand what your expectations are, understand what your definitions of success are, and figure out your market. Another aspect to consider is that if you are not writing dead on to a hot market, that doesn't mean that you cannot make money at indie publishing. It just means that your money is going to come in slower than those who are targeting hot markets. It is the business model that you choose. Are you aiming for the quick buck to get in, get out, get all as much money as you can, or are you aiming for the long tail where you are hoping to have a long career to make a sustainable income that is going to supply you with what you need in order to have your dreams achieved? What is your definition of success? It's going to be different for every single person, and it's going to help inform what business model you choose for indie publishing. One of the things that is going to help create sales for you is word of mouth marketing. The thing about word of mouth marketing is that you cannot buy it. Word of mouth marketing is somebody who is going to be talking about your book, their enthusiasm for your book, what made it sing for them. It is also somebody who is very eloquently explaining what did not work for them, and possibly with some passion about what did not work for them, because those people are going to convince other people who are either reading their reviews or hearing them talk. And some of those other people are going to be, wow, everything you hate about that book is something I love to read. I need to go buy this. One of my favorite reviews for one of my books is 1 star, too much sex. It is a short story, and that review has sold more copies of that book for me than anything else. I'm not rich from that review, but I know that review has sold copies of that book for me. So bad reviews that you're like, oh my God, my heart hurts. Oh no, my career is dead. No, not necessarily. Those reviews are going to help sell copies of books to people who see those reviews and identify things that they love to read about from what that person hates. There are people out there who absolutely will seek out reviewers who they know their tastes are completely opposite, and they will look for books that those reviewers dislike because they are very likely to love those books. So that's word of mouth marketing. Yes, you want people singing your praises, because the more people singing your praises, their enthusiasm for the book is going to sell the book. But do not discount those people who passionately dislike the book and eloquently explain what they dislike about the book. There are people who are hate readers and feel like stalkers. And once you feel that way, block them, cut them out of your life. Do not worry about them. They are not worth your time. They are not worth your mental space. But do not assume that every bad review is going to kill your career, because that is not the case. Things that are going to help build word of mouth marketing buzz is to have very solid writing. You're going to have your storytelling beats and your tropes down, and you're going to have appealing packaging in the form of the blurb that readers see on Amazon, as well as the cover. Things that get your readers excited about talking about the story and making it easier for them is key for word of mouth marketing buzz. The other thing to remember when you are an indie publisher is that you are the one who is paying for all of the production and marketing costs, which means unless you have money to burn, you are not going to be able to buy the best of everything with the first book that you have. Things that you're going to have to pay for are edits, and probably multiple rounds of edits, formatting or the formatting software license, the cover, getting ads, doing copyright registration. And if you have print copies available and you make them available through a distributor for bookstores and you allow returns, you may have to pay for the printing and cost of returns, which can exceed the amount of copies that are actually sold. Ask me how I know. As I said, I'm going to have an upcoming video on knowing your market. But one thing I think all indie authors should consider doing is creating a series. You can check out YA author Sarah Cannon's series on this topic. The reason I suggest this is that even if you write standalone novels where every book is a contained story, you can still create a series out of a theme. And so if they are all centered around the same town, if they have the same theme of reunited lovers, something that you can use to connect all those stories together and connect through the metadata. The reason for this is that if you have a series set up on the retailer sites, then they are going to recommend the other books in the series after somebody has purchased at least one of them. So by linking them, you are going to be able to leverage sales and marketing tools through retailer sites that you can't access if they are not linked. Romance author Zoe York has a fabulous video on this, which I will link above in a card. Please do check that out. So now is the time for the case study. When I explained to people at the 2019 Romance Writers of America conference what I meant by the I am the ugly of this presentation, they were very surprised that I was willing to share the figures. This is because it's very important to me for people to understand when choosing to indie publish, you are not guaranteed to make your money back. when you are creating your budget of what you are willing to pay for the production and all the marketing expenses, it has to be money that you are willing to lose. I hope you do make all of that money back. I hope you make a profit. But if you're spending money that you cannot afford to lose on the production of an ebook, you really, really have to be writing dead on to what the market is wanting, and I hope the readers find you. The case study is, this is a 58,000 word contemporary romance set in Washington, D.C. that I first published in July of 2017. And as of July 2019, I sold 77 digital copies and 7 print copies. I didn't total up the amount of money that I made from those sales, but it was definitely under $200. The thing I wanted people to understand were the expenses. I chose to have a high level of editing done, so I spent $540 on developmental edits, just under $300 for copy edits, and $116 for proofreading. For the cover, it cost me approximately $125, and it was a custom cover. It was not a photo session. Custom photo session covers can run you into the thousands of dollars. For formatting, I used vellum and did it myself, and vellum cost me approximately $150 at the time I first bought it. I have since bought an upgrade for it, so I think that was an additional $50, maybe $100. Copyright registration runs about $55. For this particular one, I think I hit a quirk in the copyright system, so it only cost me $35 at that time. I also bought a number of promotional paperback copies for a total of a little over $400. The cost of shipping those out to the various places was a little over $200. Marketing cost me $70, and that was primarily Facebook ads. I have not had success with Facebook ads. I am okay with not having success with Facebook ads. When you are testing Facebook ads or BookBub ads or Amazon ads, that can be a very quick money sink. So again, if you don't have money to burn, be very thoughtful about what ads you choose to do. I had an assistant for a brief period of time, and that cost me about $50, and that person's primary job was to set up a blog tour for me. And the cost of bookstore returns. I made my book available in print through Ingram, and there was one bookstore that I did 2 events with, one at the store and one through a book festival where they were the bookseller. And for each event, they bought a case of books, sold not even a handful of copies, and then returned all the rest. And the cost of those returns was over $200 that I had to pay for. So I sold maybe, I don't even know how many copies of the book sold at each event, but it cost me over $200 for whatever amount of books actually sold. So the total cost of me publishing that book was $2,323.89, according to all of the money that I could directly attribute to that book. Some of those expenses, such as vellum, I can use for the production of other books, and it was a one-time expense. I value having my books registered with the United States Copyright Office, so that's going to cost me money every single time. It's all about what your definitions of success are. I had a question after the panel asking me if it was worth it to publish that book, considering it cost me over $2,300 to produce, and I made maybe not even $200 on it. The thing was, I defined success as publishing another novel before I turned 40, and that book was it. I published it 2 days before my 40th birthday, but I published it before my 40th birthday, so therefore it was a success to me. You need to define success. If you define success monetarily, you have to be very judicious about where you choose to spend your money. And you also have to be very judicious as to your route of publication and what business model you choose to follow. Again, you can make money as an indie publisher, but be aware that not everyone does. and you are not guaranteed to make money. It is not a sure thing. I want you to define success, whatever is right for you and right for your business. I wish you all of the best of luck, and thank you for joining me today. I hope you have found this information useful, and if you have, please hit the like button so that YouTube knows to recommend this to others. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, I hope you'll consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when there are new videos. Thank you so much, and may all your dreams be Ruby dreams. Bye-bye.